I apparently didn't watch my timing well enough on this one. So, continuing in part 2. I have my normal curve. My mean is 0.8. And I want to know what is between 0.73 and 0.87. Okay, that means I have two z-scores that I need to find. My z-scores would be my value minus my mean divided by my standard deviation, which is 0.036, and then my other value, 0.87, minus my mean, which is 0.8, divided by my standard deviation, which is 0.036. For this, then, with my z-scores, after finding my z-scores, I can either use Table A, or I can use my calculator. Either one is right, but for whatever I choose to do, I need to have this, 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 and this all written down on my paper, and this. Okay, so I used my calculator so that I would not have to calculate these actual z-scores. Just having the formula there is fine. And so that I wouldn't have to do two separate steps, I could do it all in one. If you decide to use Table A, remember you need to find the area under 0.87 and subtract the area beneath 0.73. That will leave you with this area right here. So what I get when I do this is 0.948. So 0.948, or about 95% of my data, are between these two numbers right here. So then what I can say in my conclusion about 95% of all simple random samples of size 125 will give a sample proportion within 7 percentage points of the true population proportion. This also means that we're saying in 95% of the simple random samples, the true proportion will be within 7 percentage points of the sample proportion. So it works both ways. You can say the 95% of all samples will give you a sample portion within 12 percentage points. And you will also, within 7 percentage points, sorry. And then you can also say that in 95% of all samples, the true of size 125, the true proportion will be within 7 percentage points of the sample proportion. So, that is the normal approximation using sampling distributions. Notice that once we get to here, much like last chapter, all of this should be very similar to us. It should look exactly like the stuff that we've been doing since chapter 2. The only difference is up here where we have to know the mean is the population proportion. We have to do the 10% condition in order to use this to find the standard deviation, and then we have to use the normal condition in order to say that it's normal.